Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer and I'm here today to talk about the full moon in Virgo happening on February 24th, 2024 at 4:30 a.m. in the Pacific time zone. This is for me a rather significant full moon because when I was doing my research, I noticed that it is conjunct my natal Pluto. And this compelled me to think about the idea that there is a generation that has Pluto in Virgo, and very specifically a period of time between 1956 and 1962, where Pluto will be anywhere from 0 degrees of Virgo to 10 degrees of Virgo, giving us a 5-degree orb in your natal chart with this full moon. So if you are one of my viewers that was born between October 20th, 1956 and September 1962, you might want to pull up your natal chart and see what kind of aspects your natal Pluto is making in your chart, because there's going to be a big illumination coming. So let's talk first about the full moon in general. The full moon is the brightest phase of the moon. It's where we're seeing the culmination of a cycle. It's an illumination. It's a synthesizing of a situation, an experience, a process that has brought us to a certain conclusion and the next point of action. We see here the sun is at 5 degrees of Pisces and the moon is at 5 degrees of Virgo. Full moons are always oppositions, and this is the last full moon before we go into eclipse season, which will, our first eclipse will be in Libra at 5 degrees on March 25th. So to me, this illumination that's happening during this full moon, where I'm looking at Virgo energy, how I run my daily life, both with my employment, with my daily routines, how I treat my body on a daily basis, how I treat my mental processes, meaning the stress, how much peace do I allow myself, how much trust do I have in the process of life and the evolution and learning that we experience as we walk through this dense human dynamic. We see the sun here at 5 degrees of Pisces having a very strong conversation with Mercury. Mercury rules the mind. It rules speech, it rules thinking, it rules media and communications, it rules Virgo and my everyday activities. It also rules the sign of Gemini. So it's going to rule my siblings, my workmates, my teammates, my neighborhoods. This full moon could very much bring about an energy of wanting to live your life in a more authentic way on a daily basis. And when I say authentic, I don't mean that your life has been a big lie. It just could be more dreamy. It could even be a little bit lazier. Pisces is the rules the sign of the bedroom, things that we do alone. It also rules parts of the body that the fluids of the body. It rules research and medical research. It rules mental health in the form of institutionalization, both within a prison system or within a mental institution. So here you could become very aware of the duality in your life. Saturn is also conjunct the sun here, and Saturn, while it's been traversing through Pisces, has been bringing up a lot of history, a lot of ideas of, how was I raised? How did I feel? Was I supported? What is my historic uh, go to default perception of things? Is it one that's dreamy and allows me to be a little bit outside the box, to think of my life in a fanciful way, to dream myself into a reality? Or am I inadvertently expecting to see something within my everyday life that then gives me permission to move towards my dreams? I really think that this opposition is very powerful because the oppositions have a certain amount of cooperation. It's as if the opposition itself offers a certain amount of balance. If we have too much Piscean energy, we're not rooted into the earth. And we're here to be rooted into the earth and on some level become aware of our mental and emotional processes, and are they aligned? The moon rules our emotional body rules our manifestations. It is the universe responds to our deepest feelings versus, what we say with our mouth, or what we, because the repetitive thoughts are what are kicking in the laws of attraction. They're kicking in all those divine dynamics that we have up until now historically thought of as sort of, because we can't see them, we don't give a lot of roots or earthly experience to them. So this full moon is going to bring an illumination of the way you think, how your everyday life is running, and if you're running on stress, or if you're running on things that are creating a passion, things that you're wanting to experience from a deep, emotionally inspired place. While this particular, we're going to click on the sun here, these planets are only really having a conversation with the moon. The moon is having a conversation with Jupiter, and Jupiter rules expansion. And at the time of the full moon, Jupiter is at the Capricorn degree. This is similar to Saturn's energy here. Up until now, what do I believe about my personal history, about how I was raised, how I was nurtured, how I was inspired, how I was meant to believe in myself? And now am I willing to broaden those things? Because the moon illumination, while it makes this opposition to my traditional way of thinking, and in many ways it could be making an emotional opposition to my fears. Am I good enough? Am I talented enough? Am I tenacious enough? Do I have what it takes? Am I young enough? Saturn rules old age. So there's all this sort of reevaluating your viability in this moment, in this period of time. And as I referenced earlier, we're going to go into eclipse season. And the first eclipse is going to be conjunct the supergalactic center, which is at 2 degrees, 22 minutes of Libra. But the full moon lunar eclipse is going to be at 5 degrees of Libra. And this is akin to what we're garnishing, the information that we're getting, and how we're practically going to apply through processes an emotional dynamic that is a priority versus a luxury. And this lunar eclipse coming up is really themed more on the relationship we have with ourself and the health of that relationship versus the relationship we have with others. The Libra energy can sometimes be overly cooperative and diminish itself, which then creates an underbelly of resentment. So as we individualize ourselves and celebrate that, we actually bring that into our other relationships that create a healthier dynamic. I also want to share my screen. I have another thing I want to show you, because people born, how did I do this before? I need to pull up let me see if I can minimize this and pull up my other screen. Where is it? Here it is. Oh, pardon me for my awkwardness. Now I made a slide and I seem to have lost it somewhere on my laptop. So just bear with me, because I wanted to show you all, holy moly, where did it go? Oh, here it is. Nope, here it is. Okay, I apologize for this little snafu. I'm mid-century modern. Okay, I wanted to bring up, because in my personal chart, I have Pluto at 5 degrees of Virgo. And Pluto is a slow-moving generational planet. And I really thought, wow, this illumination is going to affect a generation of people, specifically those born between October 1956 and September 1962, as this puts Pluto somewhere between 0 to 10 degrees of this 5-degree Virgo full moon. So I believe that this is an opportunity to sort of assimilate and allow for the transformation of where in my past I have been habitually operating on a dynamic that has propelled me to please others, to serve others, to in many ways diminish my own power and control because I need to be perfect, or I need to be of service to others. This is a very dynamic energy with Pluto in Virgo, breaking up slavery, both mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Pluto rules criminal behavior. Slavery is a criminal behavior. Virgo is the sign of slavery. We now refer to it as employment, but in history, people did a lot of work for no compensation. So as you walk through being this mid-century modern sort of energy that has traversed two worlds, a world where, you know, technology basically was non-existent in your youth to now dominating. So Pluto, we can see this heart on Pluto's surface calling us into action, to listen to our heart, and through that to be systematic and to be logical and to enforce on some level in our everyday lives the things that are most important for our transformation and the power and the control of our own lives. We over here, I have Virgo. Pluto entered Virgo on October 20th, 1956. It retrograded back into Leo, which puts it still within orb of this full moon we're having right now. And yet it's going to be just slightly less influential. It re-entered Virgo at 0 degrees in August of 1957, retrograded back into Leo, late degrees, here in April of 1958, and then it settled into Virgo in June of 1958. So really, these dates where we're looking at the early degree Plutos in Virgo will be affected most by this full moon. This is going to be an illumination of where you have inadvertently, through your goodwill. I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'm actually, sorry, going to go back and share my chart. Okay, let me open this up a little again, because here what I want to offer during this full moon, especially for those of you, as I mentioned, the dates through 1956 to 1962, this is an opportunity for you to have a rebirth of your dreams, of you to allow for the expansion, the moon making a favorable aspect to Jupiter in the sign of your own skills, your own voice, your own ability to create your money. And I think this is powerful because we have transits coming up that are going to support the bravery of that endeavor. We also see during the time of this moon that Venus and Mars are traveling together in the very individualistic sign of Aquarius. And while this can be a little bit hot in an unconscious way, it can also be very powerful in a conscious way to have bravery and to create using my own skills, even if I am unsure at this moment of how it will play out. This Virgo energy will on some level want to have an earthly experience that supports the outcome they want. And in many ways, the illumination of this full moon is to trust a deeper picture, trust Saturn's ability to reward through endeavors that don't give us immediate results. And being aware of our mind. Is my mind aligned to that anything is possible, that I can create, that historically up until now, this may have felt dreamy and elusive, but now I can apply certain systems and logic through my Virgo energy. And up until now, I did not feel that power. So while this video is applicable for everybody who's experiencing this full moon, I did feel slightly inspired to focus in on those that have Pluto in their natal chart conjunct this full moon, because I really think it's going to offer an opportunity to experience the butterfly rather than the caterpillar that's constantly looking on that little twig for some sort of food to fill itself, because the idea that the caterpillar is voracious in its feeding is to support this arduous transformation. And now at a being of a certain age here, experiencing, the beginning of your more seasoned chapters, being in your 60s or going into your 60s, this is an opportunity to really extract the reward you're looking for, both emotionally, physically, spiritually, and within the connections you have with others. All right, that's it for me for today for the full moon in Virgo. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, please share, please subscribe. And if you'd like to get a reading with me, I am available. My information is below in the description. Just reach out and I'll send you all the particulars. Have a wonderful full moon, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.